to have the pleasure to introduce our speaker this morning. Reverend Lisa Argo is one of our newer ordained ministers. She was ordained here at Center of Enlightenment this past July. And we were so pleased. And since her ordination, she's just been a powerhouse already, which is good. We're so happy to have her. So sit back this morning and enjoy her wonderful words. I give you Reverend Lisa Argo.
Thank you. I picked those songs for a reason, and one more I picked for a reason. But thank you, Reverend Carol. We were just up here, last week.
Yeah.
We did a Christmas service also.
We switched.
Yeah, we switched. I'm very grateful for all of you to be here today. And I was thinking about what type of sermon I should give today. Reverend Carol talked about a candle, doing some things. I know Reverend Keith and Reverend David are doing the burning bowl next week. And then I came across this phrase when I was reading on the internet. Volunteers for the church service. And it struck me. And all of a sudden, I just started writing. We as ministers volunteer our time. We're not paid to minister to congregants, work church events, to help others. We do it in service of God and for the love of others. We ask for volunteers for the board of directors. We ask for volunteers for Sunday fellowship. That phrase had me thinking of the title of my sermon and what it could be. What do we volunteer for? How do we volunteer our time? What would that look in the coming new year? Who are we going to be in the new year? This next year is going to be challenging for us, as it should be. Challenge us to be a better person. Challenge us in ways we haven't been yet. We have no idea what the new year will bring. We haven't been there yet. It's new and amazing and scary. Are we going to find that job? Are we going to meet our mate? Where are we going to live? Should we get a dog? A cat? Is someone going to buy my books? It's a new year, a new beginning. Who are you going to be? Our lives are like a pie. We have a section for home life, our immediate family, maintaining our home, supporting the life we're building there. We have a section for work, getting to and from our jobs, our coworkers, our social life. Oh, and there's another section for our friends and social life. There's another section for church and education there, supporting our church, family, and love of God. Speaking of education, there's a pie for that too. Learning. There's another section for self-care, and that should always be there. Do we have a pie piece for others? Doing for others? Volunteering? We do it. It's part of our home life. It's part of our work life, even though we get paid. We don't get paid to help a coworker with a ride home or copy a report. It's part of our friendships, helping others. Bridget needs a ride to work. Sammy needs to borrow a saw. Reverend Carol or Reverend Kathleen need a ride to and from the eye doctors. We help others in so many different ways, but don't think anything of it. At least I don't. If I can do something for someone, I usually say yes. There is many ways to volunteer. There are many ways of volunteering. Your time, your participation, your energy, your focus. So who are we going to be this year? Let's look at the pieces of the pie. First up, I mentioned our home. Each of us has a different home life. There may be just you. There may be just you and your pet. You may have a significant other. There may be children, grandchildren. What decisions you make affects others. It's like the mobile. You tap one end and the other end jiggles. So what choices are you going to make here? Do you spend time with your children on homework, sporting events, reading a bedtime story? Do you listen to what your family needs and wants? Are you focused only on yourself? In your relationships, do you speak your truth to others, to yourself? I'm married. I didn't marry until later in life. And Tony, my husband, had children. And when I married him, I got to be a mother and a grandmother all at once. It was awesome. He's very loving and giving. And I have a hard time sticking to my wants and saying what I want and need and speaking my truth. He's very loving and giving and goes to the grocery store a lot and brings home ice cream that I don't need. He makes bowls and bowls and bowls of pasta. Here's your pasta. No, I'm allergic to gluten, but thank you, dear. Now I go to the grocery store with him and I get vegetable pasta, which is gluten-free. But I'm making choices that affect me and him. It's helping him so he doesn't have to, when he makes pasta, he knows I don't want that kind. I want this kind. And I'm saying my truth to myself that this is who I am and what I am, and I'm sharing it with him. Because how would he know if I didn't tell him? Let's look at another piece of pie, our jobs. Who we are there. Do we pass the buck? Do we take responsibility for problems that affect other people? Do we believe in the product or service we're supporting? How are we representing the company, even when we're not there? How are we representing ourselves? Our job is our extension of ourselves. I worked 10 years for the phone company and then 10 years for a hospital system. At the phone company, they paid me a good wage and I worked very hard for them. Most of my bosses were very good at facilitating my work goals. I was able to help them and help others. I'm proud of what I accomplished there. I have always tried to go above and beyond the scope of the job, volunteering for what is needed to be done if I can provide it. But we can still ask ourselves, what can we do for the company? What we can do for our coworkers? What are we doing to make things better for them, for us? What are we doing to contribute to the longevity of the company? What are we taking responsibility for? How can we grow? Let's go on to our social life. Our friends and extended family are important to our well-being. How is our life going to be with them in the coming year? Are we going to be there for them? Are we going to be a better friend to ourselves and a better friend to all? Yeah, I watched a lot of A Christmas Carol this Christmas season. Being a friend to everyone. Are you going to speak up when someone says something belittling to a friend? Are you going to stop and listen to spirit and not ego when having emotional discussions? Are you going to keep your promises? Are you going to be there for your friends? For a friend in need? Can you help in other ways? Can you help a neighbor? The lady at the store? The child crying at the park? What can you do for them? We'll go on to the next piece of the pie. I keep thinking of the Trivial Pursuit game with all the little different pies. The next one was our church, or should I say our spiritual growth. What draws you to the church you go to? We happen to have 2 new visitors this morning. So maybe this is why Spirit put this section in here. Do the spiritual lessons sing in your heart? What can you do to support it? What can they do to support you? How are they representing the word of God? Are they teaching the word of God? Are they doing it in a way you can understand and it's clear? Speaking of teaching, the next piece of the pie is education. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience. Let's learn about it. Are you seeking education? Are you going to classes to open your mind? Are you exploring new things for your body and your spirit? It's all one: mind, body, spirit. I recently started seeing a physical trainer. I had broken my leg a while ago and I hadn't really been physical since then. But running around after grandchildren and nannying, I have to be physical. And I have learned so much in doing this. And I'm feeling so much freer.
And lost weight to boot.
Yeah. I eliminated 40 pounds. 60 more to go. Thank you. Are you participating in discussions and going to lectures or asking questions of those that are more learned than yourself? Are you striving for more? The next pie is your self-care. Male, female, he, she, we, them, they, whatever you signify yourself as, you need to care for yourself. It's like on a plane. You put your mask on first before you can help others. Are you taking care of yourself? Spending time in meditation. In Mark 1:35, it says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. He made that time. Are you eating healthy? Are you being physically fit? Saying yes to positive outings or events? Saying yes to positive people? Saying no to negative people? There are negative energy draining people out there. Make sure you're doing things for yourself that are positive and loving and giving yourself time to adjust to situations. Giving yourself time for goals and adventures. I love adventures. I moved quite a bit in my life. And when I would move to a new place on the weekend, I would go out and get myself lost so I could find my way back home. And I would also find restaurants and stores and just parks and walkways and just wonderful things that I wouldn't have known otherwise. Journaling. And that's what this is all about. Not dragging down, but lifting yourself up and others. It's about service, volunteering in service, working in service, living in service. We are a part of God and need to honor that. Our body is a temple in which He lives, and volunteering your time, energy, space, and focus, you live in harmony, you live in gratitude, and you live in love, helping yourself as others help you, helping you as you help others. As I said in the beginning, I had searched the internet for New Year's Day services, but once I figured out a topic and wrote this out, I found the following by Jessica Miglatt. It's simple ways to becoming a better person. And it's funny because a lot of what she says I had just written. Spirit had written for me. Live more in the moment. It's easy to get caught up in anxiety about the future or allow your past experiences to inform your reactions in the present. What is happening today, this moment? In practice, this means being grateful for what you have, where you are, and who you are with in the moment, instead of living in the past or future, making comparisons or gauging expectations. Take time to self-reflect. We are all a work in progress. No one's perfect, and the journey to become a better person requires a hefty dose of grace and humility. You know, I love that humility. Take time to think about exactly how you want to go. Being better means first identifying the areas in which you tend to struggle and making changes, no matter how small, to improve, while also exude kindness to others and yourself. Setting a growth mindset. If you want to be a better home chef, you start cooking dinner more often or work hard to perfect that favorite recipe. If you wanted to run a marathon, you'd create a training program with the goals of becoming a better runner. That was my husband. He ran 4 marathons. It's no different when you want to work towards becoming a better or good person, said Dolly Chung, PhD. What I've been trying to do in my work is nudging us towards thinking of becoming a better person as a set of skills. Essential to that is embodying a growth mindset over a fixed one. Fixed means you assume you can't improve. But being a part of God, we know we can. Whereas a growth mindset means that you intentionally practice at getting better. Looking inward. An inclusive person is someone who is able to work with a diverse group of people and be welcoming to others. We hope we're welcoming here. We think we are. We work at it. But having an open mind doesn't always happen automatically. We know from 50 years of research across thousands of studies that a lot of the mind's work is happening automatically outside of our awareness. The place to begin is inside, accepting that you can grow and get better. Take time to just be. You've gotten to the point where just watching TV to relax is not enough. Now you must also be on your phone browsing social media or doom scrolling the news. I love that, doom scrolling. I hadn't heard that one. Instead, make a concerted effort to disconnect. Give your mind a break. Put the phone across the room, turn off the notifications, and take time for reflection. The mental clarity can help you approach the world with a clearer head. Journal more. How was your day? What struck in your heart? Your imagination? Who made you laugh? Consider your reactions. Are you proud of your actions from the day? What did you learn? Writing helps to externalize and organize our thoughts. Putting it in writing also helps us learn that you are not your thoughts alone. You can have them and then watch them float away. It is recommended to journal 10 minutes before bed. Mostly I just get 5, but I figure that's good. Broaden your feed. Learn. Audit the last 10 pieces of content you consumed. Are the voices and identities of the people featured similar to your own and each other? Aim to broaden those voices in the next 10 people you follow. Shows you watch, what shows you watch or books you read. Expanding the number of voices and perspectives you expose yourself to will help you better understand and connect to others. And that's one of my goals this year, is to step forward in my writing. Try random acts of kindness. I love doing this. I love seeing the astonishment in people's faces. These work to improve your relationships, support the people around you, and increase your sense of purpose and feeling of connectedness. The next one, if you make a mistake, apologize. It's better to take responsibility for your actions or whatever you said. When it comes to apologizing, we think that it's going to be more of a catastrophic than it is. We think the world will end when we say, wow, I'm really sorry about that. It might feel difficult at first, but with practice and a sincere apology will feel more natural. And mistakes are necessary, but overcoming them shows that you are in that growth mindset. And this one's mine. I love it. Reach out to a friend. Everyday life can get in the way of maintaining your once close connections. We've all been there, but friendship is an important part of being in service to others. And that means checking in on your friends regularly versus only when you need advice or help. This shows that you value relationships and that they're a priority in your life. There are a number of ways giving back. There are a number of ways to give back. Serving the community through nature, picking up garbage, getting involved in your community garden, find ways to improve the world through your immediate environment. And you'll get a sense of pride in providing tangible evidence of the way you are improving your community. And listening more. And forgiving. Life is too short to hold grudges or sit alone with huge hurt feelings. A willingness to tap into your vulnerability is a wonderful trait that can fortify your connections, and it'll help you grow. Ultimately, this reflection reflects your values for them and your relationship, which will be strengthened in the long run. And each year, I have a new word that helps me get through the year. And this year, I've chosen brave. To be brave, to put my writing out there for publication. To be brave in stepping up in my ministry here. To be brave in all aspects of my life. And I hope these questions I've put forth today will help you be a braver person. You are all beautiful in the eyes of God. Thank you.